What's going on, everyone? We are back with another video. And so a couple days ago, it first got reported, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, but it was reported that LeBron James wanted to go to the New York Knicks in his 2010 free agency. Before the first meeting just went terribly, and he ended up, signing with the Heat. Him, Wade, Bosh won 2 championships together in 4 years. We know that. But what would have happened if he did go to the Knicks? Would they be as terrible as they are? Obviously, they weren't terrible. They eventually got Melo. They traded for him that season. But that ended up being a bad trade. Melo would have hit free agency, and he would have possibly signed with the Knicks anyway. Probably would have signed with the Knicks anyway, and the Knicks wouldn't have had to give up all those pieces for him. And it just turned out to be really bad because they never ended up winning a championship because of that. Melo just didn't have that help that he could have had, given they didn't give up all those pieces for him. But yeah, we're going to see what would have happened if LeBron did sign with the Knicks. Obviously, they would have never traded for Melo. But I would take LeBron over Melo any day. And yeah, obviously this isn't going to be perfectly realistic, I did have to find a roster that someone created from the 2010-2011 season. And again, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be errors, of course. But it's as good as it could be. So I'm here on 2K, and we got the New York Knicks roster. We got LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire, Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Ronnie I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. Turif. I know him. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Landry Fields, Tony Douglas, Anthony Randolph, Jared Jeffries, Sean Williams, Roger Mason, Mozgov. I did not know that he was on the Knicks early in his career. Eddie Curry, again, Andy Rottens. I don't know how accurate the bottom of this is, but we have the main guys that this team had. And so I'm making the assumption that everything else in the free agency and everything else in the NBA played out the way it did. I just left the rest of the roster the way it is. So obviously Chris Bosh probably wouldn't have gone to the Heat, given LeBron didn't end up going to the Heat. But we're just going to assume that they did, because I don't want to make up a whole nother scenario where, Chris Bosh would have gone to this team, given LeBron James went to the Knicks. So we're just going to keep everything the same. And we are going to do a rebuild, kind of. This is going to be maybe a 3-year simulation. But also I'll kind of be rebuilding just to see how this team would have gone, given that. So I'm going to look at the salaries. And again, we kind of have some money. No, we don't. Wait. Minus 10 mil in cap room. But next season, we will have a lot. We will be getting rid of Eddie. Okay. So I think I'm going to trade some of these guys now. The third and fourth highest contracts right now are a 73 and a 75 overall. Get rid of them. Get rid of a lot of these guys. They're paying Noah. Is that okay? So anyway, we are gonna I'm gonna look at who I want to get. I really don't remember what the league was looking like too much, but I'm just gonna trade finder. Who was it? Let's go salary. Let's go by salary. Let's see. Eddie Curry. Okay, I don't want him. Who can we even get for him? Bro, for a second I thought I saw Steph Curry. I was just like, are you serious? Ben Wallace, after his prime. Man, he had a good run. Okay, so nothing too impressive right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do, actually. Alright, so let's look at team intel and see what everybody's doing. So Orlando is in rebuild, and Dwight Howard is obviously untouchable. I don't really know if there's anybody I really want on that team. OKC's rebuilding. You think I could cop James Harden? So we ended up getting James Harden For Wilson Chandler, Anthony Randolph, 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Alright, so I signed Pat Bev to 4 years. And I am going to send him to the G League this year. I'm just really going to simulate the season. I don't really care that much about contending this year. But next year is definitely going to be the year that we contend, I think. So I am going to make this trade. This was offered up to me. Ronnie Tarif or whatever. And a second for Nick Young. Nick Young is still only 25. Fantastic offensive player. So, alright, so this is the lineup now. We have James Harden at the 1 and Nick Young at the 2. And then LeBron James, Gallinari, and Stoudemire. And then Raymond Felton's now coming off the bench. So I think the bench is a lot better now. So we'll see. Alright, so LeBron James is your finals MVP. Or finals MVP. No, your regular season MVP. 26, 9.5, and 10.5 with 2 steals, 1.5 blocks. I totally underestimated him because we go 58 and 24. And he is Defensive Player of the Year. He finally wins that. And Stan Van Gundy is your Coach of the Year at 61 and 21. These are what the league standings look like this year. Offensively, we were second best. And defensively, we were top 5. Wait, no. We were the 5th worst. We were the 5th worst. I expected that because our backcourt is now James Harden and Nick Young. So, not really too good. But our point differential was still nice. Season stats, we know what LeBron did. Amari Stoudemire put up 17, 10 rebounds. James Harden, 17, 3.5, and 9. Absolute fantastic. He's going to turn into a beast. And the Heat don't even make the playoffs. Wow. But again, this year, LeBron did not end up winning the finals. He did go to the finals. So we're not looking to really win the finals this year. But if we do, that would be fantastic. Closeout game, LeBron 26, 16, and 18, man. Absolutely crazy. Let's simulate the second round. 2-2. 3-2, 4-2. All right, we are in the conference finals against the Orlando Magic, who have Jameer Nelson, Vince Carter, Dwight Howard, Gortat off the bench, JJ Redick off the bench. So let's see what we can do. Oh man, we lose 4-2. Very sad. Simulate the rest of the round. Yeah. Simulate the playoffs. Magic do win the finals. Jameer Nelson's this year finals MVP. 22.3, 17 with 13 assists. Absolutely crazy. Team player options. We are going to accept his player option, obviously. And this is what free agency is looking like. I don't know the status of our money, so we will see. So we are negative 20 million in cap, so there's no chance we'll get anybody. We are going to make sure we keep the players we want. I don't want to get rid of Raymond Felton. Let's look at affordables as far as power forwards and centers. Davis Bertans, we could get him. He's 19 years old, 73 overall. This is what I like doing a lot, giving young players good money. So he does want to sign. So I am going to put Davis Bertans in the D League. He's only 74 overall, so he'll definitely be a solid player. Alright, so I want to get rid of Amari because he is 29 years old, so he's probably going to start regressing in a year or two. And this was one of the trades I really liked. Monte Ellis and Greg Oden. Again, we don't have to worry about the injuries, so Greg Oden is going to become a good player. Monte Ellis, he's only 25, and he's an 85 overall. We get a center, we have a shooting guard, and that works since we're going to get rid of Nick Young. But then there's also this trade for Paul George. We know what Paul George becomes. Imagine Paul George, James Harden, LeBron James. I feel like I have to pull the trigger on this one. Oh, this is so hard. I have to, because I know what Paul George becomes. That was probably a bad trade. But it is what it is. We're going to move James Harden to the 1. We're going to bring Paul George starting now. And then Patrick Beverley's going to have to come off the bench, which I'm fine with. And now we need a better starting center. Old Marcus Camby. No, they get young JaVale McGee would actually be really nice. I think I'm going to go with young JaVale McGee. We do have to give up a first round pick, but we're doing amazing anyway. Okay, I know this is not who we need, but he's a 77 overall at 23 years old. I know what he becomes, but come on, it's 2K. 2K, he's obviously going to become amazing, or I can just flip him. All right, I am going to flip him and Roger Mason for Al-Farouq Aminu. Maybe not the best trade, but it's who we needed. I'm going to simulate through the season. We should be better than last year, and hopefully win a championship. But honestly, the goal is just to be better than the Knicks were in real life, which just means we have to win one championship in this video. All right, LeBron is again your MVP, 26, 8 and 10 and fantastic defense again. We go 54 and 28. That was worse than last year by like 4 games or something, I think. But Patrick Beverley is your Rookie of the Year. Yo, let's go. Let's go. LeBron James, Defensive Player of the Year, and Tom Thibodeau, 67 wins. Oh no, I don't know if we're winning the finals this year. Offensively, we were again the second best team. Defensively, looks like we were actually a lot better. And then point differential goes, we were the second best team. Wow, the Bulls defense, that's actually crazy. Season stats, Gallinari was our second leading scorer with James Harden and Paul George, looking like that. I'm just going to quickly go through these because we still have like 3 seasons left. So if you guys want to see those stats, then just pause on it. But we're just going to quickly simulate through these playoffs. We are up 4-2. We were down 0-2, but we ended up winning. They have Brandon Roy. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. He's getting paid a lot. So is he. James Harden in the closeout. Amazing.
He can't seem to do anything right.
Gallinari. Amazing. Gallinari's turning into a fantastic player. JaVale McGee, look at that. Fantastic signing. 19 points, 20 rebounds. James Harden and Paul George look like they're taking a back seat to Gallinari. But they are both 85 overalls. So we're going to be fine. Simulate the round against the Bulls. We get 4-1. We're just going to simulate through the rest of the playoffs. Bulls win. D Rose, Finals MVP. That's what could have happened if he never got injured. So player progression, LeBron James is still a 99 overall. Paul George is up to an 88. James Harden 84. Gallinari 83. Pat Bevan 82. JaVale McGee's an 80. Bertans is up to 79, so he's going to be a fantastic backup power forward now. Aminu is a 78 also. Our bench is going to go crazy in a little bit. Mozgov is even up to a 77, so he's going to be a respectable backup center now. All right, so this is what the lineup's looking like. James Harden, Paul George, LeBron James, Gallinari, and McGee. And then off the bench, we have Patrick Beverley, Aminu, Bertans, and then Mozgov. I think we can be competing this year. Last year was the first year that LeBron in real life won the finals. So this would have been, and that would have been against OKC. So this would be the season where they beat the Spurs. And I think this is a team that can win, honestly. Who was it? The Bulls? Like, LeBron is better than D Rose. And I think we have a way better surrounding cast than the Bulls. So hopefully, I really want to win 60 games. I think this team is a 60 game winner. All right, so we took a lot of L's at the end of the season. This is our worst record yet, 49 and 33. D Rose is the MVP this year. LeBron no longer. Doug Collins, 68 and 14. He didn't even make. LeBron James, All NBA second team, 99 overall. Yo, what happened, LeBron? What happened? Did someone else take over? He was a fantastic defender again, same with Paul George. We are still the 4th seed, so let me look at standings. Philadelphia, How? I feel like we're just gonna have to trade for a really good center or something, because clearly this isn't working. LeBron James, in what world is a 49 win team? Yeah, it's our defense. Our defense needs to change. We really don't have any. I mean, Paul George, but like, I'm gonna have to figure this out. We're probably gonna have to get a really good defensive big man, because I think that's what's really holding us back. Player stats, this is what everybody looked like. Paul George, he stepped up big time. He's an 89 overall. James Harden, Did really nice. Gallinari, Patrick Beverly, JaVale McGee, Bertans. So I might have to trade JaVale McGee for a good defensive center. That just might be what I have to do to do good, because that's just what 2K is. But let's simulate the first round. Hopefully we win, and oh my gosh, we were taking the 7 games. But we do get to verse Boston in the second round, which is fantastic. Closeout game, we absolutely destroyed them. James Harden stepped up. Paul George stepped up. Fantastic. LeBron James played fantastic too. Gallinari probably could have played a little bit better, but it is what it is when you have James Harden, Paul George, and LeBron James all play fantastic. Hopefully we beat this team, because this would be really nice. Simulate round. Who's on this Boston team? Rondo. Kevin Love. This was an 8th seed? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got eliminated in 5. Wow. We lose by 4 in the closeout game. Man, oh man. Simulate the rest of the playoffs. And the Bulls win another finals. Derrick Rose averaging 40 points in the finals. Unbelievable. James Harden is the only person I care about here. I want to make sure that I got him. So we got him back. Fantastic. Imagine 2K not being a trash-ass game. Couldn't be me, bro. Alright, so we still have James Harden. We're just going to simulate through free agency. There wasn't really anybody that I saw that I liked that was affordable. Alright, so James Harden is a 99. Paul George is a 91. James Harden is only an 85. A little disappointing right now. But Gallinari's an 83. Patrick Beverly's an 82. JaVale McGee's an 81. Bertans is an 80. Aminu is an 80. Mozgov is a 78. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 players. Okay, so our starting lineup is really good. I'm just gonna keep the lineup that 2K wants. I'm gonna have Pat Bev at the 1, Paul George, LeBron James, Gallinari, and then McGee. And off the bench, we're gonna have the best 6th man in James Harden. Then we're gonna have Aminu, Bertans, and Mozgov. Mozgov defensively is good. Okay, Bertans should be bad defensively. He's actually not terrible. Wow, he's actually not terrible. Aminu is actually really good defensively, and then James Harden is bad. So we have a good defensive team. I think we should be a lot better this year. Alright, so I'm going to trade JaVale for this Larry Sanders dude. This is kind of a win now season, I feel like. Let's see what this team can do. I think they're a really good team. This is literally a very, very good team. Sweet. So we finally cracked 60 wins. We go 65-17, our best season yet. Absolutely fantastic. Again, 6th man James Harden. Look at that right there. 20.5 points, 7.5 assists off the bench, and shot fantastic. Mike D'Antoni, Coach of the Year. Let's go. LeBron James is back on the first team. New York Knicks, looking for New York Knicks. Nobody, but defensively, we have Paul George and LeBron James on the first team. Offensively, we were the best team. Defensively, we again weren't fantastic, but we weren't terrible. We were about middle of the pack there. Point differential, we were first. Okay, sweet. We finally did what I wanted to do. LeBron James scoring a bunch. Paul George? How did you not make an all-NBA team scoring 25.5 points? Oh my gosh. Defensively, he was fantastic too. This is fantastic. The team looks like they're working out together finally. I think James Harden off the bench really brings that offensive need that we didn't have when Patrick Beverly was coming off the bench. So I think that's definitely a very, very nice. So that's what the stats were. Again, if you guys want to see them more in depth, just pause. But we're going to simulate through these playoffs, and hopefully we win the finals, because this is LeBron's last year. So if LeBron doesn't re-sign, then this is, I guess, over. But I'll see. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Okay, so we beat them in 5. We blew them out in the last game. James Harden dropped a ton. Paul George dropped a ton. LeBron James, I would have liked you scoring a little bit more. Well, I'll accept it since we did blow them out. But everybody looks like they played fairly well besides Gallinari. Come on. We got Orlando in the second round, the simulate round, 3-1, 4-1, view box score, Gallinari. There we go, bro. We got guys who can step up. Gallinari, Braun, Paul George, James Harden. Oh my gosh. This team is nutty. We do have Chicago. I'm going to simulate game by game. We're up 1. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-0. Simulate round. Oh my gosh, we just swept the Bulls. Absolutely fantastic. D Rose in the closeout dropped 30 and 13. What did I just do? Holy crap. But no match for LeBron, dropping 53, 7, and 8. Oh my gosh, a different breed, bro. This is our year. This is our year. We're finally gonna do it. We dropped 45 in the final quarter, man. It was a tied game going into the final quarter. Oh my gosh. We have the Lakers who... Let's see who they have. Dude, this team isn't real. This team isn't real, bro. Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. Obviously, in real life, this was definitely after Kobe's prime, but he's still a solid player. But man, Curry, he had... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And Powell, who's still a 91. Alright, we're simulating game by game. Okay, we're up 1-0. 1-1. Oh, 1-2. 2-2. Ah, 2-3 them. We're simulating with Simcast. Oh, and we're getting blown out. We're getting blown out. Oh, we came back. Oh my gosh, we're down by 1. We're jumping in. We're jumping in. Oh man, James Harden at the line. Come on, baby. There we go. Who has the ball? No. Who was that? Bro, Reggie Jackson ain't making that, bro. He's not making that. Come on, LeBron. Bully him. Bully him. Come on, guys. Yes! There we go! Larry Sanders! Let's go, baby! Let's go! Bro, I'm so hyped for this game right now, man. I don't even care. James Harden, clamping Kobe. Come on. Come on. Someone. Yes! Yes! Good D. Come on. There we go. That's the board. Come on. Push it. Push it. Let's go, Gallery. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh. I'm so hyped right now. I'm so hyped. My face is turning so red. Let's go. Come on, James. Come on, James. What is Kobe doing? No. No. Come on. Come on. Yes. Yes. Come on. Okay. We're good. We're good. He's got to miss one. Miss one, please. Ew. What was that? What was that? It was like...
Stop it. Get some help.
That's like freaking Lonzo before Lonzo. Holy crap. Someone get their... That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. All right. Bro, wait. James Harden isn't in anymore. Okay, maybe we need Pat for the lockdown defense. Get it to LeBron. Get it to LeBron. Do you, Pat? Do you, Pat? Oh my gosh. 12 points, man. Yo, wait. Is Curry even in? Curry's not even in. Wait, he hasn't been in this entire time. Hold up. Steph Curry. He didn't foul out. Am I just missing him? Come on. Clamps. Clamps, Paul George. Let's go. Let's go. Get it to LeBron. Get it to... Okay, Pep. Patrick Beverly, you're amazing. You're amazing. You are my father. Oh my gosh, we're up by 5 with 30 seconds left. This is what we need. No! What is going on? This is the most intense game ever. They're not pressing, bro. LeBron. I swear, if we lose because Reggie Jackson hit a 3. Inside, inside. Yes! Yes! That secured it. That better have secured it, man. I'm starting to sweat. I'm sweating and I'm not even playing. I'm just watching. Come on. Come on, guys. Clamp up. Watch Kobe. Watch Kobe. No, watch Reggie, bro. Reggie's the one doing everything. Get him. Get him. Oh. Oh, I thought he was going to get an and one there. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, my gosh. Yes! No, you should have got it out. I don't know how good of a shooter Larry Sanders is, but you gotta make one of these. Make one of these. Yes! Our team is clutch. Our team has ice in their veins. Okay. Come on, guys. Watch Kobe. Watch Kobe and Reggie. No, no. There we go. Secured it. Secured the victory. Let's simulate our final game. We are up by a little bit. Not anymore. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, this is a close game. This is what we want. Oh, man. We're down by 6. Oh, man. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Oh, we're down by 6. We're down by 7 with a minute 30 left. I don't think we're going to win this game. Still down by 7. Down by 5. Yeah, we're not. Oh, my gosh, bro. We ended up losing by 10. We gave up 51 in the 4th. Who did it? Who did it? Pow. 32 points. Kobe 23. Steph 22, man. Lakers are your finals MVP. Steph Curry 29 points. 10.5 assists. Shot fantastic, bro. That may have been the end. That may have been the end. LeBron still doesn't have a championship yet, but depending on what he does, he could always resign. If he resigns, we're still going. If not, that was it. We're giving LeBron everything. I do not care. No trade clause, yes. Option, yes. I don't know how to tell who's in order. So we gotta get Paul George. He's restricted. Paul George is restricted, so we're good. We want bird rights. Paul George, negotiate contract. Patrick Beverley, negotiate contract. So we're not going to be able to change the team at all. Mozgov, negotiate. Okay. Yes, we're matching him. He agreed. I don't know what's going on with LeBron. Why are we renouncing rights on him? Hold up. Cap hold you. This is so hard. Hold on. Oh, LeBron James signed with the Clippers. Alright, so LeBron didn't re-sign. So we are done with this, I guess. The whole point was to see what would happen with the Knicks if LeBron were to have signed, and they did not win a finals. Obviously, there's other factors because of that. D-Rose never getting injured. The Bulls won 2 championships in this simulation, so that obviously was a big factor in this. But our final season, we made it to the finals. We lost in 7, so New York Knicks in real life never made the finals, and they are also in a pretty bad situation right now. As far as the future goes, they do have a very young Paul George, very young James Harden, Danilo Gallinari, who obviously isn't this good in real life, but he's definitely not bad. Larry Sanders, a very good Patrick Beverley, Davis Bertans. So yes, we didn't win a finals, but they did perform better than the real life Knicks, and they are much better set up for the future. I mean, this team, this is what, after 4 years, this would have been 2014-2015 season, the beginning of it. You guys would have had Paul George, James Harden, Gallinari. This is still a title contending team with Paul George, James Harden. If not, you're still a really good playoff team. So they are definitely in a much better situation than they were in real life when they ended up getting Melo, and then he ended up aging. Knicks got rid of him, and that's how that was. So I would consider this a success. Obviously, it's very sad we did not win a finals, but definitely a significantly better situation for the Knicks than in real life. Hope you guys enjoyed. If any other stories about like people signing with different teams come up, I'm definitely gonna do more simulations like this. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.